Creating from the Heart, the Artistry of Living. I'm Susie Vance, and this morning I'm here with Jacob McGinley. He's from JCMA, and he is their
project coordinator.
We all depend on him. We love him because he moves things through the system.
Yeah, that's usually how I describe it, as I kind of just make sure that things keep going and they get where they need to go.
So what does that look like on a daily basis, Jacob?
It depends on the time of the month to some degree, because depending on, some clients need certain things at certain times. And then usually beginning of the month, we do things like reporting. And then every 2 weeks or so, we have a client that we do like a check-in with. Later today, we have another client that we do a check-in with. And mostly that's to find out what they're currently working on, what their goals are. And then from there, my job will be assigning tasks and then following the progress of those tasks.
Making sure people do them.
They're usually very good about doing them. It's making sure they're done on time.
There you go.
That's one of the things that I've been really fortunate is there's a lot of talent in the office. They all do amazing work. They usually don't need very much prodding. It's mostly just, this is the time frame we're working with. This is what the expectations are. If they need clarity on something, a lot of the things that I assign are coming from Sean. And it's sort of, this is what we need. This is what the client has told me. And maybe that ends up not being enough information. And then I have to go back and be like, hey, could you explain a little bit further what they're looking for? Maybe even more of like a concrete deadline. What time frame are we working with? But from there, everybody's really very good about staying on top of things.
So you make sure we're humming along.
Yeah. And then I think the other thing that's sort of maybe even more behind the scenes is trying to improve process flows beyond what is typical for just week by week. It's also trying to look deeper into why are we doing things the way we're doing them? Absolutely, yeah. I've always been the type of person where I'm not satisfied just being good enough. I do want to, if there are better ways to do things, I'm open to it. And I'm also very much open to constructive criticism and feedback, as well as just new ideas. And Joe's very good about suggesting new things to improve our process flow, or just new ideas. And it's pretty fun because he'll throw out an idea and then I'll research it a little bit more and be like, hey, this is pretty great. Or he'll show me a new feature on Teams or something, and I'll try to adopt that into my own process flow because it makes it easier. I still use a notebook. When I first started, it's been 5 months yesterday. When I first started, I bought a notebook and it's already pretty much full. And so now I'm starting to move more into the notebook on like the Microsoft notebook.
I got it.
Because it's nice. You can keep everything digitally.
Do you
don't
use
run
OneNote?
Space. I do use that. I use OneNote.
Isn't that amazing?
It's quite amazing. I thought I was going to miss a lot of the tactile nature of handwriting, but my handwriting is garbage. Yes. So I can actually read the things that I type, and I'm much better at typing. Things like that for me, it improved my process flow, and I'm trying to not be adverse to change. I'm trying to be very open to it.
Jacob, did you ever think when you were a kid you were going to be doing this?
So an interesting story about that is the short answer is no. My first love was biology, specifically paleontology. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with dinosaurs, and from there it moved into just more generic biology. I was pretty much convinced I was going to be a biologist, and that's something that's still really important to me. Sustainability, ecology, understanding the ecosystem. Those things are still very important to me, but they've sort of taken they exist in a different place in my life.
Got it.
But when I was a kid, I very much wanted to be into biology. And then from there, my dad was kind of pushing me towards engineering. But that is tough. That is beyond the scope of my skill set.
Well, this is systems of sorts.
This is systems of sorts. And this is the kind of stuff that appeals to me. First of all, I love business. I listen to NPR every day. I love talk radio. I love listening to, learning about business trends. I love statistics. And so when I knew I was going to go to college, I I wasn't 100% sure, but I was pretty sure I was going to get into business. And then as soon as I started taking business classes, it just kind of clicked, because that was the stuff that I enjoyed doing. That was the stuff that I enjoyed learning about. And from there, I just want to pursue it further and be better at it. One of the things I really like to work on is leadership skills. So management, but not management in a more traditional sense. Management in like process flows, like what I'm doing now. But also, how do I help a team be the best that they can be? That's the stuff I like. I like working with people.
That's great. Well, you do a great job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
being one
that.
of the beneficiaries of that project.
You're definitely not difficult to work with, and you're very communicative, so that's beneficial too. If I need something, I know I'll hear from you same day. So the turnaround is quick, and that's always very much appreciated.
Great. And so JCMA and all its clients are a beneficiary.
I hope so. Trying to continue, improving any aspect I can.
Any system. It's
if I
great.
can, yes.
That's great. That's great. Well, we all appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Susie. I appreciate
I
you.
have to say. Okay. Thank you for sharing. JCMA, where can they reach you?
My email is jacob@jcma.biz. I had to think about that for a second. I feel like I've had so many emails over the years. Typically, email is the best. If you call our phone number, it'll get through to Sean or Joe, and if you need something, they'll direct you towards me.
Awesome. And that phone number?
Joe, what's that?
Oh, Joe, what's the phone number? 219-728 4188. Awesome. Thank you. See you next time. Creating from the Heart, the Artistry of Living. Susie Vance.